Hi everyone, welcome to CessnaFlightSim. Today we're just going to be doing a short walk around tour just of my Cessna 172 that I've built here in one of my rooms at my house. We're going to be going around the outside first, having a look at that, then we'll come inside, we'll look at all the gauges and all the different bits and pieces that I've put in to make it work. Alright, so let's start with the outside. So the outside is basically, if you just have a look at it, it's just a tiny little square box basically. It's about 1.2 meters wide, just a little bit over that, just going from front to back as well, about 1.5 front to back. It's made up of pine wood, so all the structure is 4 centimeters this way by 4 centimeters that way. It's nice, makes a nice square, easy to use piece of wood. So it's not a hardwood, it's just pine, really easy to cut. So yeah, we've got that. I'm going to be putting together a book. I'm about halfway through it at the moment on how to make everything and how to make all the gauges work with each other and all that sort of stuff. But the left hand side and the right hand side of the simulator are actually both the same. So when you come to putting it all together, they're both the same. And then you've got the top obviously, and then basically just a little bit of stuff at the front, which I'll show you in a second. So this stuff here, this is core flute. This is really, really cheap. It's about $7 to get all that top put on, $7 Australian. So I've got it on the top, and I've got it also just down the sides on the inside here. And then I've just covered it. I went to the local fabric shop and I just bought some of this. It's kind of like a Hessian cloth, I guess. And I just covered it all over the top part. And on the bottom part, I've got some blue leatherette, which I've just covered the core flute with on that part. So that's on both sides, just down the bottom there for that. Okay. Going around the outside again. Here I've got an LG monitor. So my two side monitors, they are LG monitors. They're about $600 each. They are not TVs, proper computer monitors. They give an excellent resolution. When you're looking at them, you cannot see the pixels, especially on this side of the screen where I'm sitting right close to it. You can't see any pixels whatsoever. So no problems with that there. And there's the one that's across the way. Okay, so there's that one there. Back to the outside. So they just sit on these little bits of wood that I just put in there. And then I went down, I bought some iron, bit of iron, and just drilled some holes in the iron and then put the screws to connect it to the back of the TV to hold it sturdy in place. Okay, not too hard to do, pretty easy. Then the TVs are just held in with some black duct tape just to give it that extra bit of security, just so they don't fall out. So that's that there. On this side we've got the main TV. Now this is a 65-inch Falcon 4K. Cost me $700. So it's an absolute bargain, okay? Excellent picture quality. And this here is held in by this bit of webbing, okay? This webbing here. And then I've just screwed it onto this bit of pine wood here to keep it in place. It straps right around the back there of the TV and connects on the other side. To keep the TV in place, at the bottom we have got this little shelf that it's been built on, and that runs all the way across to the other side. And I've got a little secondary security feature here just so it doesn't fall off, and that is that shelving. So just in case it slips back, it'll hit that shelving and not go any further, just in case the webbing fails. Back here we've got a mess of cords and wires and bits and pieces, and yeah, it doesn't look too great to tell you the truth, but it's kind of hard to avoid. I've got one PC which is running the whole flight simulator, so it runs all 3 screens plus my GPS panel. There's about 6-7 different hubs plugged into this. And just a word about the hubs. When you're using SciTech products, they need to be 2.0 hubs, okay? 2.0, don't use 3.0 because they will not work. Also with your hubs, it's imperative that you have no more than 3 Okay, this one can allow for 7, but if you go and plug 3 products into a hub that's from Cytec, then it's not going to work, and you're going to have lots and lots of problems, as I found out. Okay, so yeah, 6 hubs, 7 hubs maybe. Down here I've just got switch panels, and I've got power boards and my wall sockets, and everything kind of plugs into the back of this. So that's all that. Nice little mess. Let's go around the other side. Now, as you can see, the TV is slightly to the right more, okay? So the TV at the back finishes in line with this pretty much, but on this side here, it's quite a way over, okay? And the reason for that being is my angle when I'm looking at it, because if I'm sitting here, I don't want to be seeing the edge, you know, the walls behind the cinema, behind the TV at the front. I don't want to see behind that, the edges. If I moved over to this seat, of course, see that little gap there? If you're sitting in the co-pilot seat, you're going to see that. But as a pilot sitting here, you don't see that from that side. Okay, that's why I have it overhanging more on that side there. All right. So right side of the simulator, here we are. We've got the same LG monitor, and yeah, it's all. There's the struts for that one, holding that in place. Got the masking tape going all the way around. Okay, and the little bit of overhanging TV there, and then that's it from this side. So there's that there. Stops it from sliding down. Computer again, and just lots of different cables. Not too much to see back there. Let's go inside the cockpit. Okay, so if we have a look here, this is the if we have a look at the screen, you see the silver trim that I've got running alongside here. That was really cheap to buy, just thought it'd make a nice effect, so I put that around the outside. I also bought this here. This is a for a handle for a piece of luggage, 2 for $1, all the way from China. So I got 2 of those, 1 for each side, and I've got the same silver effect going on over here. Did I explain about the front screen? 4K? Yeah, I think I did. Let's go down here. We'll have a look at the glare shield. So the glare shield is just a foam that's in there. And then I went down to the fabric store and I bought this black leatherette, and that just coats it. And then I just put got a knife, and I just put a groove in to the bit of foam, and then that just sits on the top, like so. Okay, so that gives a nice effect, that glare shield. Going down, starting with the instruments, what we have is all of our Cytec flight information panels. Okay, so they're really, really good, and you can individually change those to whatever instrument you want. Okay, but they're really great. I love those. Down here we've got the Cytec yoke. Brilliant. And then we also have the Cytec switch panel underneath as well. Okay, so the switch panel, if I wanted to turn off my avionics, I just can turn it off like that, turn it back on, and they will come back on as well. So that's good how everything's kind of interlaced here. Down here we've got the brake release. This is from Desktop Aviator. Okay, controls my brakes. And down the very bottom is our Cytec rudder pedals. Okay. Over this side we've got our center console, which consists of a Desktop Aviator fuel tank selector panel. So I can click that from left to right, and also push the button there for emergency cutoff. Got a little hole in the middle here. This is going to be for where my headphones going to be going into, so I can start using Pilot Edge and do a lot more air traffic control training. And then the next piece of equipment we've got is the Cytec trim wheel, okay, for trimming our aircraft. And then next to that we've got the SciTech throttle prop and mixture control. I don't use this one, I use the other one up here. These ones are getting pretty hard to come by now, but I love it. It feels so realistic, just like when I go up and do my training. So really good, but like I said, hard to come by. Over here we've got our desktop aviator flaps control lever. If I push, you hear that? So that's operating my flaps over here. So there's those. And then up here we've got these are my new additions, from Real Sim Gear. We've got the GNS 530. Okay, so this is excellent, this piece of equipment. I love it. So it works really well. All of the different menus work. Flight plan, there's your flight plan. You can go back out of there, put in your procedures maybe if you want to do procedures. There you go, really good. So the next step is the GMA 350. This is also from Real Sim Gear. So I can choose to listen to COM 2 or take all my communications off, just have COM 1 on. I can do nav 1, nav 2, depending on what I'm tuning into for my radio frequencies. So that's that one. Over here we've got our SciTech radio panel. Pretty self-explanatory really. These have been around for ages now, these things, but yeah, all the buttons work. And like I said before, this connects up, so if I change my frequency on here to 119, it's coming over here. So if I push the radio panel, it's going to change. See it's changing. So they all are interlaced. The multi-panel is down here, so we've got different settings for this. I've got a spare SciTech co-pilots panel. So it's just sitting there at the moment. I haven't got that properly in place yet. And underneath here, because I'm constantly pulling on this one, on the yoke, what I've done is just underneath, I've put 2 clamps just to clamp down each side quite tightly, and that stops your yoke from moving. So that's a helpful little tip. It's a really good one. Right, under here we've got some lighting. See some lighting here, and that's really just for kicks and giggles really, because I can change it if I want. If I'm doing night flights, I just change it to red. Yeah, it gives a really nice effect. Change it to blue if I want. Where's the blue? There we go. There's the blue. And that was only $15, so 15 bucks, pretty good value really. Can't go wrong there, but I'll put it back onto white for flying during the day. What else have we got, guys? Up the top, I've just bought a couple of sun visors, $5 just off eBay. And then if I want additional lighting, I've got this puck lighting here. Yeah, and there we go. And that's pretty much it. So at the moment we're sitting here in this is Juliana International. And it's looking pretty cool. So yeah, that's about it there. Now if you got any questions or anything about anything at all, please contact me. If you'd like to see a video of something in specific, then I can gladly do that for you as well. Just give me a bell. Alright guys, thumbs up please on this video if you enjoyed it. If you want to see something more, let me know. Take care until the next video. Peace out.